Hello, good morning, Dr. Suresh. Dr. Suresh, do you hear me, sir?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So you are able to hear me. I was just checking it. Great. Ah, I could also see Govind's picture.
Sir, you are
there.
ready?
Yes, sir. I am ready. I actually can share with you. I got a little insect bite on my eye. So I'm going to be off the video thing. It is looking shabby. Yeah. But rest assured, I will be with you all along. Correct? And even before we start, all my best wishes to everyone. And it's a wonderful thing, Dr. Suresh, that I got to know through you. Yeah.
तो सप्लाई ऑर्डर बनेगा मैं कम्युनिकेशन कर दूंगा उनके लोग कुछ नहीं रहेगा पेमेंट प्लीज नहीं होगा तो वॉश मैं नॉट सप्लाई ये
NASA sir, please.
NASA sir, shall we start? Hello, NASA sir. NASA sir.
Yes, sir. Will I start?
NASA ji, shall we start now?
Yes, sir. Should I start?
Prasad garu, shall we start now? Prasad garu.
Yes, sir.
Namaskaram.
Namaste, namaste.
Shall we start now?
Sure.
NASA sir. NASA sir. NASA sir.
हाँ जी.
शुरू करेंगे?
हाँ,
आप बिल्कुल तैयार हैं तो?
बिल्कुल रेडी हैं.
वेरी गुड, शुरू करते हैं तब.
ओके.
राइट.
Good morning, all. I, Soumya Das, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, on behalf of Bengal School of Technology, College of Pharmacy, and Indian Hospital Pharmacists Association, IHPA, welcome all the participants from various corners of India and abroad to Dr. B.D. MIGLANI Memorial Webinar on Clinical Pharmacist and Pharmaceutical Care. I extend my hearty welcome to all the dignitaries who are hosting this live session, making the movement more cherishable. What is learning? Few days back, this question knocked in my brain, and the curiosity to know the exact definition forced me to Google the same. A simple question defined in a very lucid language, that is, learning is the process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behaviors, skills, values, attitudes, and preferences. I really feel myself privileged to be a part of this session and thank the authority to host this event. To brief about the session, I'd like to put some light on today's topic of discussion. Clinical pharmacy is a branch of pharmacy in which clinical pharmacists provide direct patient care that optimizes the use of medication and promotes health, wellness, and disease prevention. Clinical pharmacists practice in healthcare settings where they have frequent and regular interactions with physicians and other healthcare professionals, contributing to better coordination care. Pharmacy practice is still in the initial stage of development in India, as the profession of clinical pharmacist is in the budding stage. In the country, the patients, physicians, nurses, other healthcare providers, recruiters in pharmaceutical industries, prospective students, and their parents have numerous questions about this profession. Pharmaceutical care is a patient-centered, outcome-oriented pharmacy practice that requires a pharmacist to work in a concert with the patient and patient's other healthcare providers to promote the health. The need of the study of the present topic in today's era is highly needed as because the process of treatment or therapy is taking a new turn. As the people are opting for more precise and well-developed healthcare services, the need of clinical pharmacists and the pharmaceutical care is gaining importance. While the practice model is most well established in the United States, there are clinical pharmacists throughout the world who are improving the care of the patients of all the ages in all the areas of acute and ambulatory care. With a perspective to make understand the concept of clinical pharmacist and pharmaceutical care, Bengal School of Technology and Indian Hospital Pharmacist Association IHPA have joined hands to conduct this webinar. Dr. B.D. MIGLANI, who is also called as the father of hospital pharmacy in India, was an eminent pharmacy professional who dedicated his service towards promoting hospital and clinical pharmacist. The great noble man has given a new shape to the practice of hospital and clinical pharmacy. Numerous books, articles, chapters authored by him serve the purpose of quenching the thirst of many keen learners. It's a great honor for us to host this webinar in remembrance of the great man. To begin the session, I'd like to request Dr. P. Suresh, respected Principal, Bengal School of Technology and former President, IHPA, to keep the welcome address and mark the beginning of the session. Sir, please.
नासा साहब, मेरा आवाज दिल्ली तक पहुंच रहा है? नासा साहब, मेरा आवाज दिल्ली तक पहुंच रहा है? नासा साहब, मेरा आवाज दिल्ली तक पहुंच रहा है? तिवारी सर.
Yes, sir. I
Am I
can
audible
hear
at
you.
Mohali?
Can you? You are audible at Mohali, Dr. Suresh.
Thank you.
Can
thank
you hear
sir.
me? Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, I am able to hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Then that's perfect.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Maybe some
Prasad sir,
connectivity
am I audible at
issue. Yeah.
Visakhapatnam? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am Gupta, Vice President IPA. Am I audible at Ranchi? Okay. Good morning and welcome you all to this first ever Dr. Bhagavan Das Miglani Memorial webinar on clinical pharmacist and pharmaceutical care, organized by Bengal School of Technology, College of Pharmacy, in association with the Indian Hospital Pharmacists Association, New Delhi. I am delighted to extend a warm welcome to participants across the country. To name a few states, participants from Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Goa, Chandigarh, Haryana, Gujarat, West Bengal, Telangana, Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and also from Nepal. My hearty welcome to you all on behalf of Bengal School of Technology and on behalf of IHPA. I deem it a great pleasure to extend all a hearty welcome to Dr. Memorial webinar on clinical pharmacist and pharmaceutical care organized in association with IHPA. I deem it a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to the 85-year-old young man, S.L. Nasa, President IHPA, New Delhi, and express my gratitude to him for providing us an opportunity to host this said webinar, which is first of its kind in the national level. I extend a special warm welcome to the eminent speaker, who is none other than Sri Prasad R. Tirunagaru, Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Army, for the valuable talk. Let me present a brief note about my institute, the Bengal School of Technology. As you know, the Bengal School of Technology, one of the leading pharmacy institutes of its kind in the eastern belt of the country, with the state-of-the-art infrastructural facilities, was established in the year 2006 by the Supreme Educational Development and Charitable Organization, SHEDCO. The institute is strategically located in a picturesque campus at Sugandha near Chinchuru railway station, Hooghly, in the state of West Bengal. The location and campus environment with unique academic ambience provide a refreshing environment of a knowledge resource center to nurture the young intellectuals in the respective domains of education and research. The institute offers a 4-year BPharm program, a 2-year MPharm program in pharmaceutics and pharmacology. The institute is also approved for diploma in pharmacy course. The institute is affiliated to Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, formerly known as West Bengal University of Technology, West Bengal. The institute is accredited by NAC and NBA for the BPharm program. The visionary and dynamic management has left no stone unturned in equipping the institute with dynamic, competent academic intellectuals of national repute, apart from providing the modern state-of-art infrastructural facilities of its kind to deliver the best possible services so as to generate competent, committed, disciplined human resources to meet the dynamic challenges of the global village in all diversified fields of pharmaceutical services. With this brief introductory note, I extend a warm welcome to all participants to the webinar on clinical pharmacist and pharmaceutical care. Hearty welcome to all.
Moving on forward, I'd like to request Dr. Pranabesh Chakraborty, Honorable Director, SEDCO, to keep the introductory remarks. Sir, please.
Very good morning, Suprabhat, to all the dignitaries of our profession, the stalwarts and senior personalities from the pharmaceutical arena. And we are really grateful to the IHPA that they have joined hands with our organization to have such a fantastic memorial webinar on clinical pharmacist and pharmaceutical care. As we all know, this is for my students particularly. As you know, now this clinical pharmacy research, and how the pharmaceutical people of our profession are helping and can help the mankind. This is a big question to all the people around the globe. And it is really a pleasure to be in this seminar. And after a long time, I am looking after all my senior people, my friends like R.N. Gupta. It is really a challenge today that how the pharmaceutical technologist, with the idea and concept of clinical pharmacy, they can take the challenge up and help the mankind in the today and tomorrow. Professor B.D. MIGLANI is one of the stalwart in our profession, and particularly he was really vanguard of our profession in so many manners. Dr. Nasa, who is one of the stalwart personality, of our profession, and I hope and expect my students all around the globe and specifically from India, they will listen the deliberations of the eminent personalities, and you will come to know the real picture of the clinical pharmacy and the role of clinical pharmacist in India and throughout the globe. Although in India, the concept is till now missing, and certainly today or tomorrow, that concept will develop by joining hands with the stalwarts and the government. Both central and the state governments should understand the real scenario in which the pharmaceutical technologists can play a vital role to serve the mankind. You take note of it, and once again, I am conveying on behalf of the management of Supreme Group and Bengal School of Technology, warm, hearty greetings with the word that all you stay safe and healthy. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. To pay the tribute to the legendary, we have a short film on Dr. B.D. Miglani. This will give the session a holy start. I request the participants to please stand and pay your tribute to the legendary Dr. B.D. Miglani. To move forward, I'd like to request Mr. S.L. Nasa, President, Indian Hospital Pharmacist Association, IHPA, to keep the keynote address. Sir, please. Mr. S.L. Nasa.
Hello.
Hello, sir. We can hear you, sir. Please.
Okay. First of all, I'm very much thankful to the organizer, especially Dr. P. Suresh, who is not a, the London in pharmacy, but he is very much associated with the inception of the IHPA from Odisha, because we were together since long, and he established the Odisha branch, first of his branch in India. So I'm very much thankful to him, number one. He gave me an idea a few days back that why we should not start a webinar on the name of Dr. B.D. MIGLANI. And first webinar, we will start the Bengal Institute of Pharmacy and Technology. So I'm thankful to the Bengal Institute of Pharmacy and Technology and giving this courage to Dr. P. Suresh to have this webinar along with the IHPA. I will just brief because already so many things have been told, Dr. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. Please carry on, sir.
Okay. The Dr. MIGLANI actually was born on 15 September 1927 at village Sani at Miawali, now in Pakistan. He graduated in pharmacy from Medical College Amritsar in 1950 and did his M.Pharm PhD from Punjab University, Chandigarh. He joined his career, started career as a hospital pharmacist in Iran Hospital from 1951 to 55. And then he joined a Lady Harding. Hello? Hello?
Sir, you're audible, sir. Please carry on.
Then he started his career as a pharmacist in Lady Harding Hospital from 1956 to 62, and then in Maulana Azad Medical College. And finally, he joined as an assistant professor in the College of Pharmacy, which is known as DIPSAR, way back in 1973. He was the first person who has got an idea to develop a hospital pharmacy in India. To develop a hospital pharmacy in India. So the Delhi University at College of Pharmacy started a postgraduate course in hospital pharmacy way back in 1984. During his stay at the College of Pharmacy as assistant professor, he became the principal and he developed the hospital pharmacy. Actually, the clinical pharmacy and pharmaceutical care. Pharmaceutical care is a combined word consisting of the hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, and the community pharmacy. So it was his idea, and that is why the pharmacy practice course was started throughout the country in various parts of the colleges. This development earned him as the father of hospital pharmacy of India, as Dr. Amal Sharaf is known as the father of pharmacy education in the country in India. Dr. B.D. MIGLANI is called as the father of hospital pharmacy in India. And there are so many things that he was during the 15th IPC, Indian Pharmaceutical Congress session at Pilani on 29th of December. He, along with Dr. Rothgi and Mohan C. Bajaj, Dr. P.C. Dandia, Dr. S.N. Sharma, and Devinder K. Jain, all this have got an idea why not to develop a hospital pharmacy to start a IHPA. It was the idea struck up in Pilani in 1963. So the IHPA was started from 1963, and in order to develop the gap between the pharmacist and the IHPA. So he started an Indian Journal of Hospital Pharmacy way back in 1964. And this was the only journal available in India which has developed and which was producing the news about the hospital pharmacy. For his 47 years as an editor, he edited that journal from his own personal house, R566, Nurinder Nagar, New Delhi. During this, you know, he has got received number of prestigious award, ML Sharaf Memorial National Award. He has received a Dr. B.C. Rai Memorial Award. He has received G.P. Srivastava Memorial Award. So many other awards he has to his credit. He was a very much keen to develop the journalism. So he had a course of journalism also. He, along with Dr. Harkishan Singh, you know, he has brought 2 books, and one with Dr. Ravi Kumar, who was his student, a first student of hospital pharmacy. That is a hospital pharmacy practice book, and another was the pharmacy digest. And that digest was his editorial, written from 1964 till 2007, was edited in that book. 2 more books was in the process. That is, he thought that why not we should remember those pharmacists who have contributed his life. So let us not forget them. So he has collected so many obituaries of about more than 300 people to print that also. But it was before that he was expired. But his book, we are ready to publish it. So this book will be soon published by the Indian Hospital Pharmacists Association. The IHPA, Hello?
1 minute. Sir, you're audible, sir. Please carry on.
Okay. The Indian Hospital Association was formed on 29 December 1963 at Pilani during 15th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. Dr. Rothki, myself, Devinder Jain, and Mohan Bajaj, we have started this thing. And the registered office was R566, Nurinder Nagar, New Delhi. At present, registered office at St. Stephen Hospital, and Mr. A.K. Adhikari, under the supervision of Mr. A.K. Chief Pharmacist. And the association has been working for the last 49 years for the cause of development of hospital pharmacy. The hospital pharmacy IHPA has started, you know, number of lectures, that is management course during that time, and also started the K.K. Acharya Memorial Award to the topper of the diploma student in pharmacy, and ML Sharaf National Memorial Award to the eminent pharmacist, scientist, academician, regulatory affairs, to be started every year from the year 1975 until today it is continued. So it was all his contribution. His last contribution, you know, he was in the process when we had under his supervision 2 Indian Pharmaceutical Congress, one at Manipal and other at JSS College of Pharmacy, Mysore. The saving of that, he was in the opinion that we should start a hospital pharmacy foundation. So a hospital pharmacy foundation was set up under his supervision and under his guidance. And this hospital pharmacy foundation again has instituted number of gold medals to the various institutions who are imparting PharmD education, and some such gold medals are being awarded under his name in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Punjab University, Chandigarh, in JSS College of Pharmacy, Uti, and in JSS College of Pharmacy, Mysore, and also in Manipal University. We are also in the process of having number of other schemes under this mission, and we will definitely have this his vision to be wake up. And we are our team consisting of our present secretary, Mr. Pankaj Bhaktar, our treasurer, A.K. Adhikari, and our member, Mr. Govind MIGLANI, and others. We are in the team working on that, and we will try our best to bring his mission, to complete his mission of IHPA, and to make his these webinars regularly in every year. Actually, we had also kept this webinar during the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress, which was going to be held at Nagpur this year, but due to the corona, this was postponed, and hence we could not have. Definitely another webinar will be also during the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress, which will be held by IHPA in 2021 at Nagpur, and on his name, one lecture has been kept by the scientific committee. So the IHPA is very proud of having a such personality, and we will try our best. And with the effort of Dr. P. Suresh, who is the pioneer in giving and starting his first webinar at West Bengal in Bengal College of Pharmacy. So I'm thankful to him, to his team, to the director of the institution for initiating this step. And I am now thankful to also to the first speaker of this webinar, who will be delivering a talk on the first webinar after B.D. MIGLANI. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Moving forward, I'd like to request Dr. R.N. Gupta, Chairman, Hospital Pharmacy Division, IPA, and Vice President, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, to keep the introductory remarks on this session. Dr. Gupta, please. Dr. Gupta, are you able to hear me? Hello? Hello, Dr. Gupta. So I think Dr. Gupta is presently not available here in the Zoom platform. So we will be having his talk at the end of the session. I'd like to request, or next we will move forward to the session and begin our invited lecture today. Before beginning, I'll take the freedom to give a brief introduction of today's speaker, Mr. Prasad R. Tirunagaru, Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Army. Mr. Tirunagaru has received his B.Pharm and M.Pharm degrees from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and Medical Services Core Training as a combat pharmacist at the Academy of Health Sciences at U.S. Army Medical Center, Texas, USA. He is the first Indian pharmacist to be commissioned as an officer in the U.S. Army. He was the first foreigner to pass the prestigious California State Board exam in the world. He has served the U.S. Army during 1975 to 2010. He has been a research assistant at Letterman Army Institute of Research, San Francisco, clinical research in human genetic insulin development, nutritional studies, laser surgical development, etc. He also acted as Assistant Chief of Pharmacy at Dardanelle Army Hospital, Texas, Long Beach VA Medical Center, Los Angeles, Silas B. Hayes Army Center, California. He was the Assistant Chief and Chief Pharmacist at 352 Combat Support Hospital, Fresno, California, providing combat support during the war. He has vivid experience of pharmaceutical services, including pharmaceutical care. His specialties include clinical pharmacy, inpatient and outpatient services, nuclear pharmacy, oncology, chemotherapy, nutritional supplement, developing hospital formulary, clinical training modules for nurses, pharmacists, and physicians. In the year 2010, he has taken an early retirement and now he is promoting the pharmacy practice throughout India. He has dedicated his life towards upliftment of pharmacy professionals in betterment of common man. It is indeed a prestigious movement for us to have him today to deliver a talk on clinical pharmacist and pharmaceutical care. I welcome you, sir. I request you to begin your talk and enlighten our participants. I hand over the session to Mr. Prasad Tirunagaru. So please unmute yourself, sir.
Good morning and namaskar to all the Gurujis. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Namaskaras to all the Gurujis and my blessings to all the students and the youngsters. And I'm very happy today and thank you for inviting me for this wonderful session. Soumya ji and Dr. Suresh and all of you. Start the session. Share the screen. And I joined the US Army in 1975. Once I joined the Army, we lose our citizenship. I became an American as an Army officer, but I never forgot my India. I never stopped loving. I love my India. And I would like to show you a few things before we go into the clinical pharmacy and pharmacy world. And India becoming a superpower. It was my dream a few years ago. Now with BrahMos and Chandrayaan, and now Suryayaan, and will become one of the supermost powers in the world. And a few years ago, we needed a GPS satellite for India. America didn't want to help us, Japan, Germany, nobody wanted to help us. But today, we have achieved the greatest level of confidence in the whole world. We are able to launch the satellites for the entire world, including America. This is my favorite slogan, take care India, it's your future. I believe we have been made superpower during the Vedic times and all along, but now this is more important than any other time. I want to give a brief history. I very proudly tell all my generals and everybody in the world, without India, there is no America and no Europe and no other advanced countries. In the Vedic times, long time ago, centuries and centuries ago, most of these people used to come to India for gold, diamonds, and spices. Columbus came to India and trying to find a short route to come to India, accidentally discovered America. Until then, whole world did not know America does exist. So America has to be thankful to India forever. Bill Clinton, one of the presidents here, I want to tell you the pride of Indian pharmacist. He's supposed to join the US Army. He ran away to London to join the Oxford University. A young pharmacist from India, able to go to America, join the US Army during the Vietnam time. This was in 1975, first Indian pharmacist joining the US Army. It was my oath-taking ceremony as an officer, medical officer. These are the combat things, the Chinook helicopters, 130 supply plane and helicopters. India is able to get these Chinook helicopters now for our combat readiness. And these are the F-16, F-14 combat planes. They were given to Saudi Arabia. They were smuggling them to Pakistan. Today, our engineers are able to manufacture the parts and the planes in Bangalore itself. These are my pilots. When we're going to combat missions, we used to fly on the helicopters, provide medical care and pharmacy care in the remote villages and the combat areas. This is the Pharmacy College at the University of California, San Francisco Medical Center. This is where clinical pharmacy was born in 1970s. First college in the whole world to start the clinical pharmacy. I want to show the history of the clinical pharmacy. This is where clinical pharmacy was born. Our Army hospital was right next to the Golden Gate Bridge. And it's a great privilege for me to pass the California board exams as a foreigner, first foreigner to pass the exams. I tell you, we have the greatest education system in India. A lot of people used to think America is the greatest universities, Europe and Oxford or Yale or other universities, but we had the best education system in the world. If I able to pass the board, highly competitive exam with the Indian education, you can see how well it is. And the thing is, California board exams are toughest in the world. A lot of the students from University of California used to fail. A foreigner from India able to come and challenge the board exams, pass the first time ever. The pride goes over Indian institutions and the teaching. In the clinical pharmacy, this is the hospital pharmacy, inpatient pharmacy, where we make all the IV solutions, parenteral nutritions, and chemotherapy, drugs, various things. It's a major part of the hospital pharmacy. This is the Unidose. You can see the typewriter. This was 40 years ago. Now, of course, with all the computers and all the modern things and everything, it's great. This is Unidose section, part of the clinical pharmacy, inpatient pharmacy in the hospital, and a very important one. I was very fortunate to be part of a team developed in the University of California Medical Center, developing the human genetic insulin during 1977 to 1981. These are the machines here, separating we used to make the rats diabetic. And after surgery, remove the pancreas and try to isolate the pancreatic islets and alpha cells and beta cells, and you centrifuge, special centrifugation, and conduct the studies in vitro. And this is a machine we used to measure the radioimmunoassays, tag the pancreatic islets, and see how the insulin production level is affected during the diabetes. These are all different various departments of the clinical pharmacy. This was done almost 40 years ago. And one more thing I want to tell you. When I went to USA in 1975, preparing for the board exams, it was the greatest challenge. A pharmacist from India coming to USA where they were just starting clinical pharmacy. Most of the world never heard what is a clinical pharmacy is. A young pharmacist coming from India without Indian education, going to America, trying to challenge the most difficult board exam in the world, California State Board exams. What I was able to do was have my own preparation because there was nobody to help me with the books or anything, because I was working 16 hours a day in the army and doing all those things. But what I did was, luckily I was able to access the libraries, and with my Guruji's teachings in India, pharmacology and medicinal chemistry, I tried to develop my own clinical pharmacy with the pharmacology background. Pharmacology is the father of the father, medicinal chemistry is the mother. They combined both of them, we got the clinical pharmacy. Then the applied therapeutics, it was the greatest challenge, unbelievable journey. So during the combat exercises, we are part of a medical team. We are involved with all the surgeries, emergency surgeries and everything. Pharmacy was supplying all the critical care medications. It's a life and death situation, most of the combat injuries. Combat pharmacy is one of the important clinical pharmacist role. So these are the pharmacy team who are able to go to all different combat locations during the exercises, supply medications, and provide medical care. This is the pharmacy box where we can establish a hospital anywhere in the world within 8 to 24 hours, fully functional, air conditioning with all the full functional abilities. This is the combat support hospital where the patients are brought in from the combat areas and everywhere. The great challenge there is, we do not know what the enemy using the biological weapons, chemical warfare and everything. This is the San Francisco Bay Area. This is where most of the biotechnology companies are here, and biologicals also. This is New York, where is most of the drug industries located in New York and New Jersey. And from New York to Visakhapatnam, where most of these pharmacy colleges in India, in Visakhapatnam, were conducting a rally trying to promote the pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, and the job creations. My dear friends, I fought a battle 40 years ago in America. In India, I tried to get a job in 1975. I could not get a job. I had to go to America, join the US Army. So now things haven't changed much. Seems like job recognition for the pharmacist is very difficult. I hope for a better future in India because we have thousands of colleges all over India. We got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pharmacists ready to serve. I'm in the Facebook trying to promote empowered Indian pharmacists. This is my most favorite one. In clinical pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, and community pharmacy, and everywhere, most important thing here is patient counseling. Somebody needs to tell the patient because in India, a lot of people are uneducated. Even the highly educated people do not know how to take their medications. It's a very, very important role between the pharmacist and the patient and the doctors. Doctors are busy, always busy. They're seeing so many patients and everything in India. It's a very problem. They write all the scanning reports and everything, labs and everything, but they forget patient counseling. But pharmacists can play very important role. And that is part of clinical pharmacy responsibility and drug information, very, very important. And therapeutic advice for the doctors, nurses, and the patients. And pharmacists has another very key role, next generation research. That is the future of the pharmacy. Empowered clinical pharmacists. Millions of Indians need help. I was talking about the superbug since 2014. I know some of you attended 2014 IPC meeting in Hyderabad. Superbug is the greatest challenge to the whole world. You know what? Superbug is created in India. I'll show you how it is done. And clinical pharmacist has a very important role. Try to help the patients between all these epidemics, diabetes, cardiology, and pharmacovigilance. Very important role, because a lot of the doctors do not explain to the patient what are the adverse drug reactions, drug-drug interactions, and the side effects, and food-drug interactions. This is where a clinical pharmacist can play an important role, try to promote better patient care, achieving the optimal therapeutic result. My dear friends, clinical pharmacy is a great big thing. You can have a clinical pharmacist in traditional medicine, clinical research, infectious diseases, pediatrics, oncology, and all these different things you can imagine. But now the important thing is establish a clinical pharmacist role in every hospital, every big medical clinic, every medical center at the district level, university level, everywhere. It's very important whether you like it or not. It's a new thing. It started 40 years ago. I struggled in America to get a job. But the most important thing here is in clinical pharmacy setting, a lot of times what they do is patient counseling. Most important thing, we have to know the patient information, patient history, family history, medical profile, and lab values, and what the patient is being treated in the last 3 to 5 years. And that is very important. If the patient is allergic to any medications, how is recovering, or prognosis and diagnosis, very important. And here, a lot of times I know most of you don't even have access to their clinical profile. It's very hard. Clinical profile and patient information is very important during patient counseling and therapeutic advice. That is very important. My dear friends, one more thing. Biggest problem in India, renting a pharmacist license. You know, I heard in a lot of states and cities in India, with one license, they're opening 5, 10 pharmacies. It's unprofessional, illegal, and unethical. You have to realize nobody, no other profession in the world rent their licenses. You should not. You should stop renting licenses. It's got to be professional pride, my friends. Do you know how many duplicate licenses in India? Does the Drug Controller General of India know that? I don't think nobody knows. Nobody cares. But for the betterment of pharmacy and pharmacy profession, please, please don't rent your licenses. We'll go into other clinical pharmacy one by one, you know, instead of talking about the other things. Pharmacy industry. Now, my friends, greatest opportunity for the entire pharma industry to become #1 in the whole world. You know, America, greatest country in the world. they cannot provide their medications to their own elderly people. I have a posting in Facebook like 1.5 months ago. Corona had taught the whole world a great lesson. Nobody realized how dangerous it is. One invisible enemy threatening the whole world. You know, all the superpowers in the world are powerless. Greatest wealth in the universe is useless. And thousands and millions of innovations, discoveries, all the inventions are ineffective. During this pandemic time, a clinical pharmacist can join the whole entire medical team, do a wonderful job. But all these greatest technological revolutions and innovations and advancements, I tell you, my friends, our Indian Sanatana Dharma, yoga, Ayurveda, and our grandmother's spice box, all the spices. And in the part of yoga pranayama, I'll show you more. That is the only helpful thing during this corona pandemic. My friends, in the next generation research, clinical pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, the bioinformatics, this is the thing of the future. And genome technology, genome therapy. Now, with all the new developments going on in the whole world, corona pandemic, nothing else is going to help. There's no clear-cut medication. And stem cell research, this is another part of the clinical pharmacy, future of the pharmacy. Now we had to catch up with America and Europe and India. We do have all these resources, stem cells, nanotechnology, this is another part. I think new drug discovery and manufacturing research and everything, you can do it. And wearable technology, now Corona have taught us how great all these wearable technology is helpful. Artificial intelligence, my friends, this other thing the pharmacists can look into in the future. This is one of our professor, Ravi Shankar in Guntur. Artificial intelligence is no better than our own intelligence, my friends. Robotics. There's another thing in the pharmacy manufacturing and other things. Robotic surgery. Superbug, my friends, is a great challenge to all the clinicians, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, scientists. It's beyond imagination. Nobody can control. Great power in America. They're helpless. They could not provide any better care. Every day, 50,000 cases. India is reaching 64,000 cases a day. Coronavirus is a bioweapon created, but nobody is willing to accept the responsibility. In the army training, we were trained in the combat pharmacy, combat situation. We don't know what the enemy is going to use, biological weapons, chemical weapons. You never know what's happening. Definitely coronavirus is a bioweapon. It was created in America, but China. It's a practice long time ago. We knew a few years ago, but it came out. China trying to develop something else beyond imagination. They never told anybody. Now it's a challenge for everybody in the world. Superbug is a great challenge for all the clinical pharmacists, hospital pharmacists, doctors, and patients all over. The superbug is killing so many patients all over the world. These are the figures all over the world. This is where in India, I know the clinical pharmacist position is not well established, not recognized, and the government has to open up their eyes and create jobs because they need our help. Every one of them. The political, blindness. How many thousands of colleges all over the world, all over India, and how many graduates are coming every year? Probably 20,000 to 80,000 graduates, B Pharmacy, M.Pharm, and Pharm D. We can utilize every one of them, my friends. This is a superbug, takes us back to a few years ago. They're able to find it. Now, and the challenge here for the clinical pharmacists and doctors and the patients also, obesity, biggest problem in the world. In India, it's not much problem. But in the Western countries, Europe and America, biggest problem. They're spending almost 200 lakh crores to fight the obesity. With obesity, what happens? They develop diabetes, thyroid, blood pressure, cardiac problems, and arthritis, all kinds of diseases with one thing. This is the greatest challenge for the humanity. And Zika virus, until a couple of years ago, this was the biggest problem. Now the corona. My dear friends, oncology, cancer. We did not have that many cancer patients a few years ago, but now almost every other house has a cancer patient. It used to be only the royal disease. In the olden days, only the rich royal families used to get them. But now it's the biggest problem here in India. Thousands or even lakhs of people all over India suffering with cancer. And clinical pharmacy need to establish oncology clinics in the hospitals where you can assess the patient management and the routine, the dietary plans, and help the doctors mediate. You know, another dramatic thing, nobody could imagine a baby powder can cause cancer. There's so many causes of cancer, the pollution and chemical contamination, chemical pollution in the foods and cosmetics and everything, daily things we use, biggest reason for the cancers. And there was a great challenge for the clinical pharmacists, hepatitis. In India, there are millions of people suffering with hepatitis. Hepatitis A, B, C. And this is where hospital pharmacists and clinical pharmacists can play a very important role. Help the patients, guide them. My dear friends, now heart disease. A lot of young people are getting the heart diseases. The reason, stress, lifestyle changes, and dietary modifications with genetically modified grains, vegetables, and fruits. And a clinical pharmacist can play a very important role in cardiology clinics, in the hospitals. They can monitor all the clinical implications and advise patients how to take their medications. Biggest problem on the cardiac patients is their potassium levels. A lot of times doctors forget to tell them. And sometimes they use the wrong diuretics. Their potassium is depleted very rapidly. Then they have all clinical emergencies. Sometimes they could go into coma and a heart attack. This is where a clinical pharmacist and a hospital pharmacist can help monitor the clinical levels of potassium, sodium, and all the other things. And he could be able to coordinate the dietary intake also. My dear friends, COVID, what is happening, with the respiratory system diseases, with pneumonia and all the other things already we have it. TB patients, alcoholics, heavy smokers. Now the coronavirus is very dangerously affecting the respiratory system. And people are dying within few days, sometimes within hours, respiratory collapse. My friends, Indian Sanatana Dharma, yoga, pranayama, it can help you. Now, with all, like I said, all the innovations and adventures and everything, all the things in the world, your greatest wealth, greatest innovations, your money, all these things are immaterial. Coronavirus don't care. It does not discriminate between the rich, poor, and the ugly or educated or uneducated. It will do its job. Yoga, pranayama, Surya Namaskaras. I want you all, I request all of you, try to take care of your health. And the biggest problem where hospital pharmacists and clinical pharmacists can help, digestive disorders. With the modern times, with Manchurias, pizzas, burgers, ice creams, cakes, whatnot. Midnight biryanis, right? Sure. The biggest problem is, is going to create more problems, ulcers, and so many digestive problems. It's going to ruin your health. In America, what they do? For everything, Zantac, and all the proton pump inhibitor medications, so many of them, 4 or 5 different ones. What is happening now with all those proton pump inhibitors and everything else, besides the digestive problems, it is going to create kidney problems. This is where a clinical pharmacist can play a very great role, identifying and monitoring the drug therapy and patient care, and get information from the prescribed medications, therapeutic module, and clinical values. You can interpret and see how things are happening. You can predict before these things happen, advise the doctors and patients. Diabetes is the biggest problem. Now India becoming a world #1 diabetic center. A lot of young people are getting diabetes. Before it used to be only old people and older generation, some family history. But now with the modified lifestyles and everything else, tension everywhere, the stress and all those things, a lot of youngsters are getting the diabetes. Clinical pharmacists can play a role here, guiding the patients, monitoring, and the therapeutics, and help them with the overweight problems, neuropathy, retinopathy, and high blood pressure, and all these things, all the complications of diabetes. You can help. And this is the greatest thing, my friend, mind, body, and brain. Before now, with the corona pandemic, we have to be healthy. We have to take care of ourselves so we can help others also. You need to have a healthy body, strong mind, and brain. That's the spirituality. Mind, body, and brain. And meditation, yoga. These things can help you become a strong person, healthy person, and a happy person. You got to be able to reduce the stress factors. Now with Corona, a lot of people are afraid. They are simply panic. You know, besides the Corona attack, people are dying with the panic disorders and fear alone. My dear friends, most of them are psychosomatic. A lot of disorders are psychosomatic. Cardiac problems, thyroid, and diabetes, stress. If you can manage your mental balance with your physical strength and your spirituality, you can be a better person to help the humanity. You know, every brain has almost 1 million gigabytes memory. It can hold 1 gigabyte memory, almost like a 1 to 2 billion neurons in the brain. They're all interconnected and a well-organized network. My friends, I come back to the clinical pharmacy again. I'll show you a few things. This is the most beautiful place, San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. The first place I worked in the US Army Presidio of San Francisco was right here, right here. I was there for 3 years. When I left India from Visakhapatnam, one of the most beautiful cities in India, East Coast, went to another beautiful city in America, San Francisco. America used a bioweapon 30 years ago. They never told the world they used a bioweapon right here in this area. So there are a lot of things, you know, changed. Whole world, come back later. We say the pharmacy, I believe in the spirituality. Swami Vivekananda's favorite quote, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. That is the greatest message for the youth of India or entire world, eternal message. My dear friend, International Yoga Festival is the gift to the whole world by our rishis, maharshis. 5,000 years ago, they are able to develop a system. Morning Surya Namaskaras. It gives the immense strength to the body, mind. And Charaka is the father of medicine, who had the greatest Vedic knowledge. Few thousand years ago, they were able to provide all these things. Sushruta, father of surgery, was able to perform surgeries without using anesthesia. Can you imagine not using anesthesia performing a surgery? That's the unbelievable advancement and minimal blood loss. Aryabhatta. I proudly tell the whole world, you know, long time ago in America, the Western world used to think India is a poor country, unadvanced, and a country of beggars. But I tell them, without India, there's no America, there's no world. In mathematics, value of 0 is a 0, but it's everything. Without 0, there's no world, no wealth. Charaka. I want to tell you, we'll go talk about some Vedic knowledge here. It's eye-opening for all the modern sciences and our medical society in the whole world. During Ramayana, Ravana, they had a great fight, great war Whenever Rama was chopping his head off, another head was coming. Chop his hand off, one more hand coming. Chop his leg, one more coming. They say stem cell generator type thing in his body. With the stem cells, you can create any part in the body. I mean, those days, Ravana has the greatest technology. He even had the Pushpaka Vimana, right? Pushpaka Vimana, greatest thing in the world. No matter how many people get into the plane, there's room for one more. The facts and benefits of stem cells, my friends. There is a great clinical mystery. Test tube baby, first test tube baby was created in 1978. Louis Brown. Whole world thought that's the greatest clinical modern advancement. My dear friends, Mahabharata time, Gandhari has 101 test tube babies. Her egg fell down, broke into 101 pieces. Kashyapa Mahamuni was to develop 101 test tube babies. These are the scientific advancements we had long before the entire world knew about it. You see Balabharatam. I don't know how many of you watched the Balabharatam. Arjuna creates a ladder to go to the Swargalok, bring Airavat. Everybody thought, yes, of course, it's a story. Epic Ramayana, Mahabharata. Now the Japanese company is building a space elevator. Almost same thing we were able to do with spirituality and other things. And one more thing, my friends, recently, about 3 years ago, one of these scientists got Nobel Prize. You know, the benefits of waking up in the morning, Brahma Muhurtam. Brahma Muhurtam is between 3 to 6 in the morning. So that during that time, body has amazing, the cellular activity in human mind and body is amazing. A lot of things happening. So light within darkness and within light, gateway to the understanding. That is Circadian Rhythm, ancient Vedic medical science based on these rhythm cycles. So these three scientists get a Nobel Prize. The Brahma Muhurta, the benefits of waking up in the Brahma Muhurta. And the spiritual basis of Ekadasi fasting. During the fasting, it's a yogic principle, part of yoga and Ayurveda also. They call Lankhanam Param Aushadam, Vaidyo Narayana. But Aushadam is Pranam. That is our pharmacy logo and motto. Aushadam is Pranam. But fasting, during fasting, what happens? A lot of the cells going to clean up. The healthy cells will be cleaning up the dead cells and rejuvenate, re-energize, and giving new energy to the body. And there will be better cancer fighting activity also. Lankhanam Paramaushadam. Fasting helps much better. It's one of the yogic principle and clinical pharmacy principle also. And Yoshimo Oshuda got a Nobel Prize. He got a Nobel Prize for the benefits of fasting, 2016. That is our Ayurvedic Vedic pharmacy principles. And Kapalabhati Pranayama, right? Last year, Nobel Prize You'll be surprised. These three scientists got a Nobel Prize for the discovering how cells sense and adapt to the oxygen availability. My dear friends, in yogic principles, it's pranayama, prana sanchalana. That is the greatness of our yoga pharmacy. Like I said before, whole world is looking for what? To get the immunity, to get the strength, to get the spirituality, to fight corona, for basic survival. My dear friends, this is yoga pharmacy, yogic pharmacy, Ayurvedic pharmacy. Every one of these had great beneficial effects to get you a better immunity and stronger body and mind and healthy. Healthy is the greatest antibiotic, natural thing. Now, in America, I say, loving affair, golden milk, right? We forgot to use healthy here, but they're using a teaspoon of healthy in glass of milk and drinking. Golden milk, my friends. It helps you fight the and all the diseases, increase your immunity, make you strong. And nature's pharmacy. There is a yogic pharmacy, an amazing God's pharmacy. A lot of beneficial effects. It will be wonderful effects. My dear friend, Sanjeevani Parvata. Do you know, any of you know where it is? It is still there, exists. This is a yogic medicine, clinical pharmacy also. Pharmacognosy specialist, if you do, look into it, but NASA is looking for it too. There's some other countries. Mr. Sanjeevani does exist. We'll find out. 2 years ago, I thought about traveling all over India, go to different pharmacy colleges, promote the pharmacy, empower Indian pharmacists. It's somewhere there, my friends. Let's go look for it. And this is another greatest technological marvel. This is your Facebook. This is your WhatsApp. Unbelievable in Maya Bazar movie. That is the one you can see, just like our Facebook and WhatsApp. It doesn't need to recharge, no power, don't have to worry about anything. Your mental power. Narada Maharshi is a time traveler. He travels all over the universe. Now NASA is working on teleporting based on these principles. We can transfer human beings from one place to the other. In our yogic way, we have the parakaya pravesha. You can transfer your spirit to your dead body and fully function. That is parakaya pravesha. That's another yogic medical history. It's nobody would know. The NASA is working on developing these principles. My dear friends, this is another Vedic thing. Who discovered the rainbow colors? 7 colors of the rainbow? Yes, modern science says Newton. Right? Right there, Surya Bhagavan. Try to count the chariot, the horses, 7 of them. 7 colors in the rainbow. It's another marvelous scientific advancement. Our solar system. Newton, Plato, Copernicus, all these, modern people, they give it credit, discovering solar system, Navagraha. Right there, our Navagrahas, modern solar system. It's everywhere, in every temple, beautiful. Darwin's theory of evolution. My dear friends, we have it in our Dashavatara. And we had greatest rishis in every different science. We have all these greatest universities in India, Nalanda, Tashashila, Nagarjuna, everywhere. All the modern things are, but the Britishers, Mughals, and everybody destroyed. We were away from with our culture. My dear friends, Ananta Padmanabha Swami Temple in Kerala. I think most of you know, richest god in the world. They did not open the 6th door yet. Whole world used to treat India like a beggar's country, poor country, and everything. All these Britishers looted our country, raped our culture. Mughals, French, Dutch, everybody came to India, looted country. But we are still the richest country in the whole world. We are. Kohinoor diamond. It was discovered in Krishna and Godavari, Krishna Basin in Andhra Pradesh. Queen Victoria has it on her crown, stolen from India. Still the greatest diamond, greatest treasure in the world. Jhansi Rani, Rudramadevi, my dear girls, ladies, there's so many things happening in India. Women are not weak, you're strong. You can face anything, you got to be brave and strong. A lot of rapes and murders and other things. You should never give a chance to anybody. Become a Jhansi Rani, become a Rudramadevi, Kali Mata. You're not weak, you are Mata. Aishwarya Rai, beautiful lady. And Kalpana Chawla from Punjab. First woman astronaut from India. Engineer, BTech graduate. She had her dreams set for NASA, became a great astronaut, Columbia Space Shuttle. And I always say, with the top brains in the world, all Indians, most of the doctors, scientists developing whole world, forgetting India. Everybody, a lot of this 30, 40 years ago, they all used to get free education. They developed the whole world, forgot to develop India. We need to develop India now more than ever. Satyam Shivam Sundaram, 3 top brains from India, helping the whole world become #1 in USA. Indra Nui from North India, CEO of Pepsi company. And Purna Malawat, 13-year-old girl, tribal girl, climbed Mount Everest. 13-year-old, never traveled, never left her hometown, never traveled anywhere. My dear friends, for all the youngsters, there's a message. If you want to become anything, you can. Put your mind to it. You can conquer anything. This is the beautiful San Francisco area. Swami, a couple more minutes is okay? These are the F-16, the F-14 fighters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue, sir. No issues.
Okay. America never wanted to help us. They were selling them to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was smuggling them to Pakistan. Today, We were able to make spare parts for F-14, F-16 in Bangalore, India. And the F-35, we get it later. And it's a beautiful place in Kerala. Beautiful national flag in the Mother Nature's valley. Our champion, Sindhu, world champion. Amati Raidu, cricket champion. For the young people now, my friends, with Corona time, what is the greatest weapon? Your health, your strength, your inner strength, your immunity. You have to be active, any kind of sport. You know, with the pandemic, Corona and the lockdown and everything, what else is there? You can go anywhere, right? Yoga, pranayama, and meditation. Srikant, he's going to be our next world champion. I used to run almost like 10 miles every day. I was a sports champion in Andhra University, bodybuilding, and weightlifting. This was about 15 years ago. I quit running now, I'm more into yoga. This is my favorite slogan, take care India is your future. Our young people are #1 all over the world. We were in America, Europe, Australia, Japan, everywhere, developing all the technological advancements, but not able to do in India. This won my revolution in '97. I used to believe India, we can become superpower. '97 is almost like 23 years ago. It was my dream. India becomes superpower. Yes, we are. We were superpower all along, but we're coming back in the modern time again. I had a run there, Olympic run in Visakhapatnam. This is my friend. In the modern world, I mean, he's a happy camper there. Happy, healthy. He's almost like 70 years old when I met him. Works hard, works in his field, and get his daily bread. This is the tribal villages in Visakhapatnam. Everywhere I go, I tell the youngsters, education is very important. Health awareness is very important. And social responsibility, very important. A lot of these kids, they never crossed their mountains, came to the cities. Most of them, they lived in the mountains. Half of them probably died there. Health is wealth, my friends. In this modern world with Corona and everything, this is where our clinical pharmacists, our hospital pharmacists can help everybody. This is my own banyan tree in my garden in India, in Visakhapatnam. I go to the garden. I do my walking, yoga practice, meditation, and pranayama. I want all of you practice and develop and get a healthy body, strong mind, and great spirituality to achieve anything in this life. That's very important. Clinical pharmacy, I did not touch too many things. I gave you all the basics where they can try to help all different diseases establish, because now clinical pharmacy needed more than any other time in this world. India has to come up, even the Drug Controller General of India, Indian Pharmacy Council, and all the pharmacy associations in entire India, they had to fight together. Colleges are there, government is spending how many hundreds and thousands of crores on the fees reimbursement. They're spending the money, creating hundreds of thousands of pharmacies. What are they doing? They're not using them. Even the ASHA worker getting about 15,000, 20,000 rupees a month, providing medications to patients. What's wrong? We have a intelligent, educated, well-rounded pharmacy professionals in India who should be able to do it. The biggest problem here is in the politics, dirty politics, from the central government to state to everywhere. You got these politicians who don't know much about medicine or medical system or pharmacy or the need or care. They are making the decisions all over India. It has to change. The younger generation has come forward. How many MPs you have? How many MLAs you have? You have let the media know how important the pharmacy profession is, how great clinical pharmacy is, how well-trained pharmacists are in hospital pharmacy, manufacturing, research, all kinds of things. The pharmacist can provide a better care, help the humanity, and now we need to create the jobs. I was hoping to visit Vice President Venkaiah Naidu and the health minister at the central level, and wherever I go, wanted to promote or organize some lectures. It's eye-opening. Show them the skills a pharmacist can. How many functions you have? Almost 6 to 10 different ones. Drug discovery, drug research, drug manufacturing, drug analysis, right? And marketing and clinical research, testing, clinical pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, and management. You know, in Visakhapatnam, last several years, I have seen in the pharmacy, a lot of explosions, a lot of accidents. People are dying. Crores, hundreds of crores property damage. You know why? Pharmacists are highly educated in pharmaceutical engineering and pharmaceutical manufacturing, pharmaceutical research. They can easily have a managed centers there, help prevent these accidents over and over again. I believe now India can become a superpower in the medicinal area. America being richest country in the whole world, Europe, highly advanced, but they cannot provide a better medications to their elderly people. A lot of times people go hungry because they don't, with their limited financial resources, they can buy, they have to decide whether to buy food or medicine. India in a great situation where we can help the whole world provide affordable medical care. Even Trump is looking forward, but we have to take a lot of pride. We're depending on the Chinese imports, Chinese cheap raw materials, all Chinese. We have to take national pride. Even in 2014, I sent a letter saying that we could become a pharmacy of the whole world. With all the modern things, with our young pharmacists, greater strength, we can achieve. Thank you for the opportunity. I have a couple more things. If there's time, I can show you.
So we have 5 more minutes. If you want, you can continue, sir.
Okay. Aditya, just want to show you the American garden.
So because we have number of questions.
Yes, okay.
So,
But I'll show you just 3 minutes. The garden.
so should we start the question answer session?
Sure. Okay, I'll go through this one and
Okay, fine.
we say about 3 minutes. What Indian pharmacists can do in their spare time. Now with the corona things and everything, for the health is most important thing. What you eat. In America, about 30, 40 years ago, most of the Indian vegetables were not available. I was to grow all these things in my backyard. is the Indian farmer market there. Lauki about 4 feet, snake gourd about 5 feet 10 inches. Even if you want to pay money, you can buy them there. So I used to write a letter to my mother. Mom, when I come, I want a drumstick sambar or cucumber chutney or curry leaves, other things. All these things I was able to grow in my backyard. Cherries, plums, peaches, nectarines and apples, sapota, red sapota, guava, it's very expensive. 4 varieties of grapes, Jaji and Malipolu. Roses, so most favorite for most are women and God. I got about every color of rose there you can. I can supply the entire college. All your girls can have all these matching flowers. This rose garden, 100 feet length, about 8 to 10 feet high. Tangerines. That's all. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Soumya.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. And along with this session, we also came to know about many things which are related to the Vedic and the mental and the physical fitness. So we have some questions here from the participants. So I will be reading out one by one, and sir, if you feel comfortable, so please answer these.
Sure.
Yeah. So the first question comes from Karishma, and she wants to know that how can she join Indian Army as a pharmacist?
Now, that's my next mission. I want meet the Army and Navy and Air Force generals. Ask them to create a medical pharmacy department in the medical department. Military medicine, they should create a pharmacy section. What she can do is she can join as a regular officer, and if she can meet the hospital commanders, they should be able to provide a special designation or place for her. The pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, most needed in the medical departments in the military, because it's a life and death situation a lot of times, because they're highly active, well-trained and everything. A lot of combat injuries are life-threatening. That's where a pharmacy, clinical pharmacist can help a lot. And they can do a lot of studies also.
The same question has been also asked by Priyam Das and Shubhajit, because these people are very interested in joining the Indian Army as a pharmacist. Okay. So next, moving on, the next question is, what are the different job opportunities for the PharmD graduates in the Army?
Army created. Now what happens is in India, it's in a budding stage. The whole medical department did not recognize clinical pharmacy. Now is a great opportunity. They should come forward. Most of the private hospitals are creating the clinical pharmacy, but they're not using them fully. Full hospital pharmacy integrated with clinical functions. That's what needed. But there, when in the army or in the hospital, what we used to do is we used to make morning rounds with all the doctors, residents, and nurses. They used to have a meeting in the morning. They talk about all the clinical things happened last 24 hours. Various departments should present their case studies, and I'll see how they can come up with a better management, better health providers. One we don't have in India. Pharmacist is not included in any of those things, because there they got to be a drug adverse drug reactions committee, drug interactions, and all these things. They do not. Pharmacovigilance is not established here. It is a very important part of any hospital. Clinical pharmacists can bridge the gap.
Okay, sir, the next question comes from Lakshmi Triveni, and she wants to know that stem cells, as you told, that stem cells, can they be used for the treatment of corona?
Right. That one is not what is happening is in America also, they did. They're doing with stem cell research and genome therapy. You know how expensive it is? $1 to $2 million for basic, even cancer treatment. What is happening with any time with the new thing coming up? In America, there's a price tag. All these companies are money hungry, greedy. Even now with corona patients going to private hospitals, what is happening? 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So it is available in principle. That is where our young minds can put their ideas together, try to develop in the meanwhile. In India, it's easily. Labor is cheap, things are available, but the only thing is the government has to come forward and institutions have to come forward and welcome. I sent you a letter for the 2014 IPC letter. I did mention one sentence there. They have to open up their eyes, come forward, welcome the changes, all the new advancements. They had come forward. The corona had proved all these millions of things are useless. Everybody, the boss, Nobel Prizes, PhDs, all those things. Now we can come up with them.
Sir, the next question comes from Rahul De and Shanmitra Saha. Is Vedic things related to modern pharmacy?
That is, we can integrate. Just I saw there are last 5 years collecting the Nobel Prize medical winners, pharmacology, pharmacy. They're all related to the Vedic, like Upavasa, Lankanam Paramaushadam, right? So autophagy is a modern word, autophagy. It is proven, but we never implemented. The latest thing is like the other thing, circadian rhythm. Same thing. In the early mornings, how the trillions of cells in the body, the activity is modified or changed, and how you can harness. The latest one is prana sanchalana, how the cells find and utilize the energy to heal and get better. That's where prana sanchalana, pranayama, kapalabhati, and all other pranayamas. You can energize every cell in the body, almost 1.5 to 2 trillion, I don't know, more than 2 trillion cells in the body. You can send energy. We should start a yoga pharmacy.
It's really a very nice concept of starting a yoga in pharmacy. Definitely, it will be empowering pharmacists and motivating them in treatment or participating in the treatment process. The next question comes from Aditya Narayan, and the question is that Vedic things and sports, are they interrelated, and what is their contribution over community pharmacy? Vedic things and sports. Vedic things and sports.
Sports, right?
Yes, sports.
Of course they do. Like the spices, like ashwagandha, is the greatest nerve tonic. There were a lot of medicinal plants. The whole world did not, because the Western world only thing is interested is making money. Well, every time they come up with a new medication, new thing, they do hide a lot of things. All they care is money. So they don't come to the our Vedic herbal remedies. But now Corona has brought up, sambar powder, rasam powder, pepper, jeera, ginger, haldi, cardamom, cloves. Every one of them has a stimulating beneficial effects body needs. We gone away from those things. Grandmas, they know best. Spice box. You don't need anything else. But I think it needs some coordination. Even Modi's is promoting this herbal tea.
Yes.
Masala chai,
Yes. Yes.
ginger
In the
chai.
name of Kada, herbal Kada.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, those are
And
interesting. Even
sir, we are moving to the last question by Mr. Anubhav Dey. He wants to know about the Chimera virus and the anthrax as a bioweapon.
Beyond that, they have quite a few more, lot of biological weapons. Now, when this, they have this nerve gases also. Nerve gases, anthrax is the old one. They did like 15, 20 years ago. Now with Corona, it's the latest one. Corona is our smartphone. Anthrax is our landline phone. So there's like 30, 40 different ones. Only they are in the stockpiles in Russia, China, and America also. They're guarding. So they're not using outside, they're coming out not much. But I hope they don't get into the terrorists' hands.
Okay, sir. So we had these many questions from the participants over here, and sir, it's really a privilege and honor from our side, for our side, that we have many reputed people in of the pharma professions who have joined this webinar. And next, I'd like to request one of the most eminent persons, Dr. R.N. Gupta, who is the Chairman, Hospital Pharmacy Division, IPA, and Vice President, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, to keep his views on this webinar topic. I request Dr. R.N. Gupta.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to guest speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Thirungaru, and our President, Professor S.L. Nasaji, and Principal of the college, Dr. Pranvesh Chakravarti, Dr. P. Suresh, Mr. Dr. Adhikari, Dr. Bacter. It is golden opportunity provided by Indian Hospital Pharmacists Association and this Bengal School of Technology for arranging this webinar in the memory of our senior most important and most eminent person who has developed hospital pharmacy in India. As you have seen, in our India, hospital pharmacy was only a dispensing, and it was very pathetic condition before 1960. When Dr. MIGLANI Sahab has seen these things, he always used to advocate for development of hospital pharmacy and deplorable condition existing in the hospital. That time, mixtures were dispensing. So mixtures were dispensing in the bottle, and that bottles were available nearby the hospital. There were very worst condition, bad condition, and people were taking. We are thankful to Dr. MIGLANI that he has shown people, so we should change these things. Otherwise, how the treatment will be given, good condition, good pharmaceutical care, good dose, how patient will get quality of medicine. So Dr. MIGLANI
I think there is some network issue with Dr. Gupta. Next, hello.
We are you see, hospital pharmacy established. And promotion activities done by Dr. MIGLANI. Today, in some state, they are given the post. And even given your taking proper Indian method, in your present and we will utilize this your presentation in our day-to-day life for the development of hospital pharmacy in India. Thank you, sir, and are thankful to organizer for arranging such beautiful program, informative session for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to request Dr. Pramil Tiwari, Professor and Head, Department of Pharmacy Practice, National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, NIPER, Mohali, to give away the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad and everyone on board. I'm indeed privileged to be speaking on this August occasion, and my heartfelt thanks to all the drivers behind this virtual event happening this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I have very mixed emotions this afternoon. All along, while I have been listening with great interest to the distinguished speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Garu, who has touched upon the health in a very holistic manner, my thoughts have also been roaming around the memory of the father of hospital pharmacy, Dr. B.D. MIGLANI, as we all have known. The learned speaker has brought forward a very wonderful mix of Indian practices of well-being in the context of pharmaceutical care practice. Sir, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Garu, we seem to have converging thoughts, and I will catch up with you individually. Thinking of Dr. MIGLANI Saab, I am distinctly reminded of his phone call 6 days before the fateful day when he left for his heavenly abode. He had invited me over lunch at the Chandigarh Club. This lunch meeting lasted over 4 hours of time, and this was our last meeting. I noted that age did limit his physically to a certain extent, but certainly not the energy and his smile. All these years, ladies and gentlemen, when I had known him, he would encourage me to initiate new things on various fronts. And trust me, these interactions had a very big influence on me, both personally and Professor Suresh, today your effort is what I count towards Guru Dakshina. I would only say, let's all work together to take forward the pharmaceutical practice in our country to newer heights. Up above there in the sky, he is watching us with his infectious smile, which is something very hard to forget by everyone who has known Dr. MIGLANI in person or by any other modes. Thank you very much. It has been a wonderful afternoon, and over to ma'am, you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Tiwari, for your valuable speech which you have told about Dr. MIGLANI. Actually, personally, I never got the opportunity to talk to him or meet him, but after listening so many motivational things, I really feel that it was my bad luck that I didn't meet that great man. So next, I'd like to request Mr. Pankaj Bector, who is the Secretary IHPA, to keep his note on this session.
Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Tell our youngsters I'm on the Facebook. I'll be still trying to fight for the empowerment of the Indian pharmacists.
Sir.
So they can join me. And they are key role. They have to take charge.
Sure, sir. I will be sharing your profile to all the students over here, so all the participants.
Thank you.
Yes. So over to Mr. Pankaj Bector. So please unmute yourself. Mr. Pankaj Bector, sir, we are not getting your voice, sir. Please,
Hello.
yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, I just wanted to first of all thank all of you who are a part of this webinar, and I'm especially thankful to Dr. Suresh, Dr. P. Suresh, and also the administration of Bengal School of Technology for organizing this wonderful webinar. Unfortunately, today being the working day in ministry, but I could get the chance of going through the entire session, what Lieutenant Colonel Prasad has explained, right from the stem cells to the stop giving licenses on rent and ending up with yoga and then Mahabharata. And he has tried to correlate all the things. I'm really thankful to the administration of West Bengal School of Pharmacy Technology. And I am thankful to Dr. P. Suresh especially, because it was a wonderful session, and IHPA as such is really being thankful to you. Thanks, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on forward, we would like to hear a few words from Mr. Govind Miglani. Sir, if you are here, you can share your views.
Thank you very much for inviting me, first of all. It was very emotional moment also for us as a family to hear good thoughts about my father and the professional points given by the speaker. The strong point which I noted and I would work upon being part of IHPAs, the patient counseling, the drug interaction, the advice to the patient, the therapeutic advice which the noted speakers told us about, and the next generation research. These are the strong points which I could gather are thought-provoking for us as an institution of IHPA to start the data network, the knowledge bank. So thank you all organizers for inviting me. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So we are here at the end of the session, and I am here to pay the vote of thanks. Gratitude is not only the greatest virtues, but the parent of all others. The smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intentions. I want to pay the vote of thanks by stating a beautiful quote by Peter Meyer Lantham. Poisons and medicines are often the same substances given with different intentions. And definitely, we the pharmacists have the sense of compounding, dispensing, quality control, manufacture, and providing effective pharmaceutical care to the patients. First of all, I'd like to thank all the participants from 25 states of India and abroad for their active participation and team spirit. It is really an honor on the part of Bengal School of Technology, a College of Pharmacy, to host a bundle of excellent participants with an appetite to learn and grow. Thank you, dear participants. I heartfully thank Mr. Prasad R. Tirunagaru for his superlative talk and shared treasured informations with us. You imbibed in us the concept of Indian tradition and its importance in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. From you, we knew about the concept of bioweapons, combat services, and the role of pharmacists in developing our own country, India. You educated us about the development of stem cells, Zika virus, and many more challenges which we are still to face in the future. The way you related the concept of Ramayana and Mahabharata with the present day innovation will always be remembered throughout. Thank you, sir, and we are honored. I extend my thanks to Dr. R.N. Gupta, Dr. Pramil Tiwari, Mr. Pankaj Bector, and Mr. Govind Miglani for their extravagant participation and support. We will always be grateful to you. Next, I'd like to thank Dr. Pranavesh Chakraborty, Director SEDCO, and Dr. P. Suresh, Principal, Bengal School of Technology, who have trusted my skills and have given me the opportunity to coordinate this event. Next, I express my sincere gratitude toward the trust members of Bengal School of Technology, who have always been a supporting hand in making this webinar a success. They have always been like a pillar to uphold the dignity and essence of education and pharma profession. Without their cooperation, their webinar would not be a success. Thank you. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank all the teaching, technical, non-teaching and other persons who have directly or indirectly involved in making this event a grand success. Without thanking the Almighty Power who has given me the confidence to uphold and coordinate this event, my thanksgiving will not be complete and fruitful. We, the pharma professionals, have the capability of bringing a change in the present healthcare system. This motivational and zeal will definitely imbibe in us the potential to carry our profession with dignity and high spirits, serving the needy. A line of request to all: stay home, stay protected, be kind, take care of elders and needy. We can and we will fight this pandemic. To close with a brief line, the healthcare community is doing an exceptional job in these tough times. Let's all salute the members of the healthcare team, the doctors, the pharmacists, the nurses, and all those who are directly or indirectly related to the healthcare team. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice session. Thank you all. And to all the participants who are present over here, the attendance link is shared in the chat box of Zoom, and also it is in our website. And I have also forwarded the attendance link in the WhatsApp group, in both the WhatsApp groups. So please fill the attendance form very carefully. Depending on the attendance form, only your certificates are going to be generated. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. So NASA sir and Hello, NASA sir and Mr. Prasad Tirunagaru, I'm ending the session over here. Namaste and thank you. Looking forward to meet all of you again.